Hello and welcome back to Swapnil's Analysis. I am Swapnil. Today we are going to discuss yet another interesting poem of Emily Dickinson. I have made so many videos on Emily Dickinson because she is such a very fascinating poetess which has written about the loneliness and which has she has glorified the introvertness, the people who are very shy, who wants to live a very private life. She has glorified those things through her poetry. And today the poem which we are going to discuss is I am nobody, who are you? As we are all aware that the first line of Emily Dickinson's poet is generally considered as the title, because she has not given title to her poems, because she was not writing or expressing her feelings, emotions to publish. She was writing to express. She just want to scribble down. She just want to express her emotions and keep it as a private. Therefore, otherwise she would have burned or eradicated or torn down all the pages on which she has written her poetry. But she fortunately did not do such a thing, and therefore we are able to study, analyze, and enjoy her writing. So, without wasting much time, let us discuss today's poem, I Am Nobody, Who Are You? So, today we are living in a social media, the age of internet, the age of social media, where we are very excited to show if anything excitable happens in our life. We be it in the form of post on WhatsApp status or on Facebook, on Twitter or Instagram. So we use that social media platform to declare or to let other people know that such and such thing has happened with us. But Emily, as we are all aware and we have discussed ample of time, that she has led a very lonely life. So this poem talks about, or rather glorifies, loneliness. Loneliness is an undercurrent, not the death as we find in all other poems. So here loneliness has been glorified by Emily Dickinson, and the poem is very short. It is only of 8 lines. So and divided into two stanzas. First four stanza and the second four stanzas. That's it. The poem is there. That is the quality of Emily, that she has written so small poems, yet they have very deeper meaning. So it is not the quantity, the quality matters, and that has proven absolutely correct by Emily Dickinson. So let us begin. Here, the speaker is nobody who has met another person. We are not sure whether that another person is nobody or not. She has assumed that thing. So, what here the speaker says, first stanza that we are going to discuss is, I am nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? Then there is a pair of us. Don't tell, they would punish, you know. So here, in the first half of the first line, what she declares, I am nobody, as if describing herself, as if what I am Swapnil. In the same way, she is saying I am nobody, means I have no identity. I am not very popular, or I do not have much friends, or I do not mix up with the society, and therefore nobody knows me. Therefore, I am nobody, means I am not that popular, or I do not have any particular identity. Probably the she also doesn't have the name. Therefore, she is saying I am nobody. As I would say that I am Swapnil. In the same way, she is saying I am nobody. And then she wants to know the identity of another person. Who are you? What is your identity? Who are you means it is related to the identity. Nobody means she does have a name, but she does not want to disclose her name unless she knows the name of another person. Therefore, she says, I am nobody. She does means here this I am nobody implies that she is very private person. She does not like to share her identity or share her emotions with anyone. Then what he says, who are you? Who are you? What is your identity? What is your name? Where do you live? Which country do you belong? I would like to know. Who are you? Then before answering, she did not give chance to the other person to answer. She immediately throws another question, and that was, are you nobody too? I'm nobody, but are you nobody too? Means you also do not have any identity. Are you like the private person like me? Are you nobody too? Then there is a pair of us. If you are a nobody, there is a clause. If you are a nobody, then there is a pair of us. Means we have similar identity. Means we have similar identity. And then there is that Emily Dickinson style, that hyphen. Don't tell means don't tell others about us, not only about you. If you are a nobody means you are like the private person like me. If you do not have the identity, you are just introvert like me, then we are pairs means we form a group. Here I find contradiction because on the one side she wants to live alone, separate, cut off from the society. On the other side, she's so interested to know the identity of another person. And she would like to form a group. Pair means here is a group, naturally. She wants to know if there is anyone identical like her. Therefore, she says, then there is a pair of us. And immediately afterwards, she forewarns that don't tell anyone about us. Why? Because she is a very private person. Don't tell about us because we have a similar identity. They would banish, banish here means that probably she doesn't have much friends, and if that another person, if he tells anyone about their relationship, then the other people they would ban, other people they would forbid, that okay, do not talk with her, or do not be friend with her, she's not good, or something like that. Therefore she says, okay, we are identical, do not tell anyone. And then she says, and don't tell, these are so important things, words of this poem, that you naturally know that how people behave, how people treat people like us who have no identity, who are identityless, who are very private person. You know that, don't you? Therefore don't tell. Then she gives another. In second stanza she talks about somebody. First stanza talks about nobody. Second stanza talks about somebody. Somebody is a person who has identity. And this stanza is identical to the people who means we have the friends in our group, in our circle, that those friends will post something on their status, something every day, early morning, late at the night. If anything happens, even though if they go somewhere, they would post it. Okay, I have reached here, or I have come to the dinner. They would inform others about their activity. Why? These people they call as somebody. These people they call the people who always wants to attract the attention of others towards themselves. That is what the status is. You post a status and you after every hour check that status, who has seen it and who has not. So that is the, in a way, the style of attracting the attentions of other through the status. So that is somebody, and therefore what she says in the second stanza, how dreary to be somebody, how boring it is to be somebody. Why? People then always, people know everything about you. A private person, he doesn't share his plans. Means even though if he or she had been to out somewhere for lunch or dinner, they would not inform others about it. They want to keep it as a private. But on the other hand, somebody, he would always like, okay, I have been to this very famous hotel, I have been to this very famous place, and they would inform others, and they expect others to inquire them about the taste of that hotel or the atmosphere or their enjoyment on the trip. So therefore she's saying how dreary it is to be somebody. Means the speaker does not like under the spotlight, she does not like to be center of attention. She always wants to be very private, away from the mainstream. How public like a frog, somebody who always try to attract the attention of other, like the frog, that they always inform, okay, we are here. Frog, they always through the noise they informs other. To tell one's name, live long day to an admiring bog. As frog disclose their identity, even though they are not at the surface level, they hide somewhere in the bog. The same, the somebody, the people who always wants to be at the center of attention, always wants admirer. Means if they post something and if you do not comment on their post, they would get sad. So they want people's like, they want people's comments. And this thing, imagine, when I read this poem, I realized that Emily Dickinson, as a writer, she knew that it is not a good thing to tell everything related to your life to your friends or the others. Because what happened? If we post something on the Facebook, it is not it, means confined to our friends. It becomes a global thing. Imagine, do you really want to tell the whole world about you? Means WhatsApp is a very private thing, but Facebook is a very public thing, and there are people. Therefore, she dislikes those people. There are people who always wants to attack the attention, who are comments hungry and who are likes hungry, who wants the likes and comments of the people, admiration. And that's what we do in the age of social media. When we post something, we want comments, we want likes, we want admiration. And this is very boring, and this is really boring, that we are not entitled to share everything on the social media. So Emily had realized this thing about 100 years back, which we have not yet. So this is a very interesting poem which I find, and which I thought I must share with you guys. So what your take, what is your interpretation regarding this poem? Do tell me in the comments box, and thank you once again for watching.